Hello, welcome to another video. Today I'd like to actually decode the circadian rhythms that are so important for sleep. So in this video, by the way, I hope you guys like my nice background. I'd like to give you guys very simple strategies looking at the hormonal mechanisms of which hormones are released during the different stages of sleep, and provide you various recommendations that you guys can implement to ensure that you get good quality sleep. So try to implement those strategies to the best of your abilities. So first of all, cortisol is a hormone. Cortisol rises when we are awake around 6 o'clock in the morning to stimulate certain activities, right? So you get increased heart rate, you get glucose uptake by the brain, and at the same time, VIP is released, which is vasoactive intestinal polypeptide. So you get vasodilation, heart contraction, you pump more blood, you get glycogen breakdown, you get more oxygen and nutrients to your tissues and all that. And VIP allows for smooth muscle contractions of the trachea, stomach, and gallbladder to get a good bowel movement as well. So this happens like 2 hours after waking up, right? You get this smooth muscle contraction. And so there's many ways to enhance bowel movements in the morning. You can drink magnesium, tends to really help really well. And even a bit of baking soda with lemon juice is another, or vitamin C is another good idea to really enhance bowel movements. Now, exposing yourself to sunlight in the morning allows you to maximize cortisol's effect in the morning and allows the photoreceptors to stimulate energy and sleep, therefore enhancing our alertness and giving us better mood. We can also maximize the effect of this hormone, cortisol, with things like coffee, green tea, and adaptogenic herbs, and even devices that kind of mimic sunlight. Now, another way that you can help your sleep is by having a hard workout in the late afternoon or in the early evening. And this is when your cardiovascular efficiency, recovery, body temperature, and protein synthesis peaks. So that's the time when your cardiovascular efficiency is highest. So when your heart is working at its best. So that would be kind of the best time to engage in a hard workout. So rather than doing it in the morning. Another good thing is to fast for 1 to 2 hours after the release of after that, and that helps release growth hormone and hormones like testosterone. So simply by fasting after doing your hard workout, not eating right after, but waiting for 1 or 2 hours. And high intensity interval training also makes you more sensitive to insulin and reduces the effects of carbs. So which is good for sleep. So even if you want to have a nice carbohydrate-rich dinner, well, by having that high-intensity workout, your sugar is not going to spike as much, right? You're more sensitive to insulin, which makes the dinner not spike your blood sugar nearly as much. Also, eating a carbohydrate-rich dinner is good for the production of serotonin, so that enhances sleep as well. So it's good for sleep as well, that way. And around 10 a.m., okay, so 10 at night, melatonin gets released. So that's why we want blue light blocking glasses, sleep masks, blue light filters, and blackout curtains. Some of the strategies I talked about in a previous video I did on sleep. Please check it out if you haven't done so. And that helps suppress all the blue light and keeping the melatonin levels high. There's another hormone called the GUT, which also peaks. But the thing is, if you eat too much glucose, leptin levels, so the levels of leptin, another hunger hormone, are too low to suppress a GUT. So you get hunger and cravings instead of being sleepy. So therefore it's best to not do kind of like late night snacking that are very high in sugar, or just in general to not eat so late. Then at 11 p.m. your gastrointestinal activity decreases, right? And then at 12 p.m., so at midnight, leptin, actually this hormone leptin, enters the hypothalamus in the brain and the core temperature drops, the fat reserves are released, and you stimulate mitochondria to produce heat. And melatonin actually enters a suprachiasmatic nucleus as well at that time at midnight, just when leptin enters the hypothalamus. Melatonin enters the SCN and it reduces the neuronal firing rate. So your temperature drops, your fat reserves are released, you're burning fat literally, your neurons fire slower, and prolactin also gets released at this time. And melatonin actually stimulates it. And thus blocking blue light glasses not only promotes melatonin but also prolactin production. And the core temperature also drops between 2 and 6 a.m. for repair, neuronal growth, and T-cell stimulation. But you need 6 hours for this to occur before 2 a.m. So for this effect to happen, right, the core temperature drops between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m. for repair, but you need 6 hours for this to occur between 2 a.m. to get repair, growth of neurons in the brain, and T-cell stimulation. So it's the best, right, to make sure that your temperature really drops or that you get proper sleep 6 hours before. So sorry, late owls, but going to bed a bit earlier is a good thing to get recovery in these 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. hours. Now, to support temperature fluctuations, because a cool environment also keeps melatonin high, you can use a device called the chili pad, which literally circulates a 55-degree air called air and keeps the home at around 63 to 65 Fahrenheit. And then again, the pathway continues. Cortisol is released again when you wake up at 6 a.m., at 6 in the morning. Now, when you sleep, there's something called the glymphatic system, which peaks in slow wave sleep, so the deep delta non-REM sleep. And there's a machine called the PEMF machine, which actually uses these delta waves to improve the glymphatic function by entering the deeper non-REM sleep. So by using the PEMF, you get better delta wave, you get better, deeper non-REM sleep. Omega-3 fatty acids and lying on your right side also has been shown to help with this effect. Now, body temperature peaks at sunset. So at sunset, remember, at 2 to 6, you get a drop. In the sunset, it peaks. And leptin also gets released, as well as adenopectin. So leptin is released, and to increase its levels, it's good to exercise in the late afternoon and to not eat a lot, to reduce the sugar cravings. Remember, otherwise leptin is not enough to suppress the agouti and you get the cravings. So that's why it's not good to eat very close before bedtime. But things like raw honey is just fine. And therefore, and as well as you don't want blue light, right? Because leptin will be suppressed as well. And also there's another hormone that gets released at sunset, important for sleep, is adenopectin. And magnesium helps with that hormone. That's why it's so important to take magnesium. And then after sunset, the temperature drops lower, right? Remember, it gets its lowest temperature somewhere in between 2 a.m. and 6 a.m., but it decreases, right? And that's why taking a cold shower can actually help with that. Different sources say different things, but some say warmer shower is good because then your body cools down. So if you take a warm shower, make sure to not do it right before sleep, but doing it around an hour to an hour and a half before bed. So taking a warm bath or a warm shower, like a lukewarm, a bit before sleep. Not right before, but an hour to an hour and a half before. Hopefully you guys have decoded the circadian rhythms and the hormones that are released at different types and various strategies that you can implement. So remember, no snacking close to bed, ensuring that your blue light blocking glasses are on before bed is a good idea. Using blue light filters on your phones, blue light filters on your bulbs is a good idea, right? And having your heavy workout later in the day definitely helps. And in the morning, get enough sunlight, have a shot of caffeine, that is just fine. And as well, to increase your deep sleep, try a PEMF machine. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be posting more content like this with practical recommendations. Please let me know what feedback you guys what feedback you guys are going to implement in your daily routines. And I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and crush that like button.